All right, what is up, guys? VV back with another video, and today, I've been getting a lot of requests to do these Japanese pro style videos, commentating on them. And today we're going to be going over a pretty cool matchup of Doffy versus Rebecca. That's right, Doffy versus Rebecca. And this is going to be a slightly, I don't want to say like an older video, but it's a little bit older than we're, this one was streamed 2 months ago on the site here, as you can see. And it's something that I would be doing more of these videos, because like I said, I get people ask me to do these videos all the time on commentating, which I love. Y'all know I love commentating, and I really want to be able to commentate, in the future. Really, I really want to keep doing this in the future and doing actual commentating in the long run. That would be like a dream come true for me when it comes to card games, which would, I've mentioned that before. But this is going to be a match between Doffy and Rebecca. So, pretty cool matchup, and it's a matchup we're going to have to be getting used to over here in the West, because this is OP-04. Again, this is from 2 months ago in the East. So they're in the meta. This will be the meta we're going into. Right, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let's hop straight into it. I've got it at 2x speed. Let me pause real quick. I have it at 2x speed like I always do. And this one's going to, so that way the game goes by quick enough. Sorry, guys, when the screen did that, it scared me. Okay, so we're going to start off with a Rebecca search from the leader, and he discarded a Kuzan and grabbed the one cost Rebecca. Doffy passes at 2 Dawn, and we're back to Rebecca. So it looks like the Rebecca player's got a lot of blockers in hand, and he's got a Quarter Coliseum. Goes down to 6 cards, uses Rebecca's ability, gets a Sabo, plays a 1-cost Rebecca. He snagged a Sabo with the leader's effect, grabs a Leo with the character's effect. And let's pause real quick. The Rebecca player's off to the races here. This is an ideal start. He has he has 2 Sabos, 2 Idios, a 7-cost Luffy, Trino Bastardo, I believe that is, and Leo in hand. Now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. He'll be on 5 Dawn next turn. He is in very commanding position to deal with what this Doffy player has. But let's see what Doffy's not going to go down without a fight. He is sitting on a 10-cost Doffy character, 2 of the 4-cost Uta film blocker characters, 2 of the 3-cost Nami searchers, a spider web, excuse me, and a sugar. So let's see what is done here. 4 Dawn for the he swung, so Doffy swung for 5, and wow, so the the Rebecca player countered out with a Sabo as opposed to the Idio. That's very interesting. So I guess that kind of tells us he wants to play an Idio soon here. And with it being a cheaper blocker, maybe that's the way to go. But generally speaking, I would much rather have played the Sabo. But let's see how it goes. It's, everyone has different styles here. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, as usual. Okay, Nami Search grabs a Buena Fiesta 2K counter searcher. Doffy passes, gets to stand 2 Dawn per the leader's effect. And it looks like the Rebecca player has drawn a 3,000 Worlds. Okay, so Trino Bastardo hits the Nami, and then pay 1 to use the leader's effect. Trashes a 6 King pistol, and now he has 3 Idios. So again, the game is just starting. We have no idea. This is anyone's game to win right now. But I feel like after seeing 3 Idios, I personally would have wanted to keep that Sabo. But that's just me. Again, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Doffy player's on 6 Dawn. He's drawn a Thunder Bagua for the turn, swing 5 with leader, and Idio, he counters out with Idio for a quick 1K counter. Buena Fiesta's played, top 5 search, and the Doffy player grabs a Guild Tessero, or Guild Tesoro, however you say that properly, and plays it right away, gets a stand up 2 Dawn, and the Rebecca player is at 7 Dawn. He has I'm going to pause real quick, he has a Quarter Coliseum, however, he can only swing at the Guild Tessero for 6K. I had to pause it real quick to explain this. He's not going to, and I can see him reaching for it right now, he's not going to do that. I can almost guarantee you, because he doesn't want to risk his opponent countering out of this, and he probably doesn't have a ton of cards in his trash where he can stand up the Luffy and swing for 7K again, and even if he does do that, he might counter out again. He doesn't know what's in his opponent's hand. So let's see what happens. He's probably just going to remove it. He has Orlumbus in hand, and he has 3,000 Worlds. I mean, I think you kind of just do a 3,000 worlds. Okay, he's going to Orlumbus, he's going to trash his Rebecca, and he's going to KO with Leo, which that fuels the trash. That is definitely a good play. There's nothing wrong at all with that play, and you have to tap down the leader per this effect. Gets rid of the Guild Tessero. He wants to deprive his opponent of any real board presence. He doesn't want his opponent to have any board presence. Okay, so let's see what happens. The Doffy is up to 8 Dawn now. And he has quite a few options. First of all, he grabbed another Guild Tessero off the top of his library for the turn. He's sitting on two cost 4K counters. Okay, he's going to rest the Orlumbus with Sugar's on-play effect. And let's see. Okay, he is going to load up 6. Yeah, swing at Orlumbus for 11, I think it was. Untaps 2 Dawn at the end of turn per the leader's effect. And it is back to the Rebecca's turn. And he drew another... 3,000 worlds. I honestly think he should have 3,000 worlds the Guild Tessero, but I do understand him trying to establish a board presence. However, you know, for those who play Rebecca, that's not really what we're going for, right? And okay, what just happened there? Oh, he's asking if the so let me pause it. So he asked if he wanted to use the what's her name here, Sugar's effect, and he chose to do it. Interestingly enough, with a Leo on the board, and now he's got the 2K counter out or better to save, a 3K counter out to save it or better. Okay, and he does not choose to save Sugar. And then we get Luffy down, gets a free swing on Buena Fiesta, and he's going to put 7 cards at the bottom of his library in any order to stand up Luffy just to protect him. So to see how this works, so he'll show his opponent that he has 7 cards. That's what he's doing right there. Then you arrange the cards how you want to. Your opponent does not get to see the order your cards are in, but they do get to see the cards you put back into your library, just not in the correct order. Okay, so now we have Doffy's on 10 Dawn. It was very smart to stand up to Luffy because 10 Dawn means 10 cost Doffy, right? The character which keeps up to 3 characters rested until their next turn. So, all right, let's see what happens here. It looks like he's grabbing about 2 Dawn here, maybe 3. Okay, he wants to swing first. He swung at Idio, the blocker. He's going to pay 3 for a Search Nami, pay 1 to use the effect on play, and it looks like he gets a 2K Chopper. So this is a nice film 2K, 2-cost 2K Chopper, I think is all it is. It is not a blocker because, you know, that would be insane. Okay, then he plays a Guild Tessero. So let me pause it real quick to finish my thought. What I was saying about Chopper is it's a 2-cost 2,000 power character that has a 2,000 counter. Typically, you'll see a 2-cost 2,000 power blocker with a 1K counter, but this is a 2K counter, so it doesn't have that. Instead, it has another effect. Okay, and it is film searchable for Nami. That's just perfect. So the Doffy player's established the Guild Tessero. He has 3 Dawn untapped, and on top of that, you know, let's see what happens from there. Excuse me. Okay, so we get an Orlumbus off the top of the deck for Rebecca. Pays 2 because he has 6 cards or less in hand. Grabs a Truna Bastardo, dropping the 2K counter Gats. Let's see what happens here. Still 9 Dawn to work with. I think you swing... Okay, who did he swing at? Life or did he swing at Guild Tessero? I'm not clear. That'll tell me. He discarded a... Uda and the 2K counter. So that was a 3,000 counter. So it must have been the leader, right? Because if he swung at Guild Tessero, he'd have only needed a 2K counter, unless I missed something. Okay, or maybe he swung at the Nami. Maybe he okay, then he KOs Nami with Truna Bastardo. And then pays 4. So he paid 8 Dawn there altogether to use a Truna Bastardo to KO the Searcher Nami, and then 4 more to 3,000 Worlds the Guild Tessero to the bottom of the deck. Okay, and now he is going to stand up Luffy, it looks like, just to protect it. He's going to show his opponent his 7 cards, says here's what I'm putting back, and then he arranges it in the order he wants. Okay, so 1 Dawn active, not a lot, nothing that the Rebecca player can do with that, unless he wanted to attach a Dawn to Luffy and swing again, which he does not want to do. Okay, so the film player gets another 4-cost Uda off the top. This is a 4-cost 5,000 power blocker Uda, film searchable. So let's see what happens. I think it's... Okay, so the Doffy says, I'm going to attack your life here. And the Rebecca player lets it go through, of course. And he just establishes a blocker. That's very interesting. So I'm going to pause for a second. Looking at the Guild Tessero's hand... Or excuse me, the purple-green Doffy player's hand. I would probably just play my 10-cost Doffy at some point. I feel like it's very clear that the Rebecca is not going to leave Luffy tapped. Like, he is just not going to allow that to happen. But who knows? Let's see how this goes. Establishing a blocker is good as well, but I kind of almost feel like whatever is played is going to be destroyed. You can attack in with Luffy. The Rebecca player has, what is that, 3, 6, 7 cards in hand after the draw from the turn. Yeah, there's just so much that can happen. So, all right, so let's see what happens here. So we have an Orlumbus in hand, and looks like he's going to pay 4 to play the Orlumbus. He's going to pay 2 to use the leader's effect first. He snags a Luffy, trashes Idio. And I'm assuming he's going to Orlumbus to KO his Leo to... okay, no, he's going to swing first. Who is he swinging at here? I'm assuming it's the character. He's swinging for 7k. He wants to know how many cards are in the trash. Thunder Bagua. Okay. Yeah, Thunder Bagua. And he doesn't have to return any Dawn because he doesn't have any Dawn in his Dawn deck. Truda Bastardo to take out the Uda. And... oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say, how did he do that? But that's only a 4-cost character, excuse me. So that was... He didn't need 15 cards in his trash for that. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so past his turn, he does leave Luffy tapped. I think this is the best chance that the Doffy player is going to have to drop 10-cost Doffy. Maybe not. I mean, he does have 2 other real strong plays here. Start going for life, which I think he's about to load up for. He could play the Nami and the what's their name, Uda here, and still have 3 Dawn to attach the leader and swing for 8. So there are some options here. And he's just going to commit to where, okay, he's swinging at Luffy. Okay, gotcha. So he just swung 3, 6, I think it was 13 at Luffy, or excuse me, 11k at Luffy, plays Searcher Nami, grabs a Buena Fiesta, passes turn back, and gets 2 Dawn untapped in a turn. Okay. So this is still a very close game, because if you haven't noticed, the Rebecca, while maintaining board control... Okay, I gotta pause this. I'm sorry, guys. Things are going really quickly here. Let me go back for just a second. The Doffy has not lost any health, because the Rebecca doesn't want to give the Doffy player any extra card draw. Okay, the Rebecca player drew a Kairos for the turn. He's going to KO his Leo here to drop the cost of Nami down to 0 and play the Kairos to KO it. And now maybe at that point he'll start doing some damage to the leader, but probably not. I think he wants to totally starve his opponent of every card in his hand, maintain a Luffy, and just OTK his opponent. Or 1 turn, if not 1 turn KO, then at least 2 turns, right? Where you get him down to 0 and the next turn you finish. Nope, he actually swings here with Orlumbus for 6. And then plays the Sabo. Now none of his characters can be KO'd by effects. He's drawing 2 and trashing 2. He got rid of a... Oh, I missed it. It was a 6 King Pistol and a Rebecca Searcher. 1-cost Rebecca Searcher. Okay, excellent. The game is starting to really turn up, like in intensity here, I feel like. The Doffy player needs to try to establish something quickly here. Swinging for 4 and 5 at a time here is not bad. Well, I mean, 5 Dawn on leaders, what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing, but I don't think it's going to win you the game. All right, so uses Buena Fiesta Searcher. He has 2 options there, it looks like. He can grab the 7-cost Luffy or the Nami. Okay, he's going to grab the Nami, it looks like. No, he was going to grab Nami, but then he decided on the 7-cost film Luffy. 7-cost film Luffy plays a 4-cost or less from your hand, I believe, if it's a Straw Hat or... Okay, so counters out there. But real quick, let me just read what the 7-cost Luffy does, just so everyone knows, because this is a card you're going to need to know what it does. Okay, let me drag this over. This is a on play. It's a blocker. It's a 7-cost, 7,000 power blocker on play. Play up to 1 film or Straw Hat crew type character card with the cost of 4 or less from your hand. So it just straight up plays it, right? Very nice. Okay, let's keep going. So he blocks out. So he swung for 7. Excuse me. So the Doflamingo player swings for 7 with lead, taps Sabo to block for 6, and 2k counters out with Gats. Okay, paying 7 to play the Luffy, playing out the Rebecca. Very strong tempo play here, getting 2 Dawn untapped or unrest set as active from the leader's effect. Okay, draws with the leader's effect for the turn. He drew a Kairos from the top, and then he gets a Orlumbus from the leader's effect. So we do have Court of Coliseum in play. However, Actually, I can't remember. Is that a Luffy in hand? I think he does have a Luffy in the middle of his hand. Yeah. Oh, I see it down here at the bottom right. Yeah. So he's got an Ideo, 3,000 Worlds, Sabo, Luffy 7 cost, Bartolomeo, Kairos, and Orlumbus. So there are a lot of options. And Orlumbus is established on the field as well. Kairos is down. Quarter Coliseum. Rebecca. This Rebecca player can do anything he wants right now, for the most part. Okay, so he KOs his, so let me pause it. He used Orlumbus effect there to KO Kairos. Kairos has the ability to not be KO'd if you tap your leader or your Quarter Coliseum. You can do either or. So here we go. So he reduced the cost of the 7 cost Luffy, blocker, and bottom decks it. And now we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dawn to play with for the turn. I'm assuming he's going to try to set up. Okay, he's going to pay 4 and play another Orlumbus. Interesting. Okay, which is nice for fueling your trash. That is like the best effect for Orlumbus. Yes, you're reducing cost. Obviously, that's good. But you're also reducing, you're also fueling your trash. Okay. Does not swing with Kairos or anything, by the way, guys. Did not swing with any of his characters. He wants to keep them untapped. Buena Fiesta searches up a Guild Tesoro. And the Doffy player, I feel like, really needs to establish a board here, or go for life. That's not bad either. Okay, so the Rebecca player takes a 9k swing, and Guild Tesoro's down. Let's see what the Rebecca player draws. He draws a 2k Bartolomeo, and let's see what he does now. So he is going to use an Orlumbus effect to KO okay, everything's going so fast. Orlumbus effect KOs Kairos. Kairos negates the KO with the effect of Quarter Coliseum. The other effect is used, or excuse me, the other effect is not used. The Leo is used from hand, which rests the leader to KO a 1 or less, which the Guild Tesoro was dropped down to from Orlumbus' effect, KOing Kairos. So here we go. Sorry, guys. A lot going on there. A lot of stuff going on there to commentate on at 2x speed. Okay, gets rid of the Leo immediately to establish another body in Monkey D. Luffy 7 call 7k. And he does have the Coliseum down. He can swing this turn into a character. And he decides to swing into Uda. Now, I do want to make sure that's clear, just so everyone knows. These other characters cannot attack active characters. Only Luffy can do that. That's why he's able to do that. That's why he's not swinging at these 1-cost guys. Or, one of the reasons he's not swinging at those. Okay, so he's going to swing it at life. This is dangerous for a few reasons, right? Because we know what Luffy can do. Okay, here we go. I think he's going to stand Luffy at the end of turn, trying to, he's playing it exactly correctly. So this Doffy player knows, okay, I need to start countering out. I can't just sit here. Okay, so he's going to stand up Luffy, and I think the Doffy player is finally going to drop the 10-cost character. I think so, because this is a very good, you can keep 3 of your Rebecca's characters tapped, which is very nice, right? That is very solid. It might be too little too late at this point, but it's better than nothing, right? It is definitely better than nothing. And what is his other play here? He has a, I'm going to pause. He's reaching for the 7 cost 7k Luffy blocker, but I don't think Sugar can be snagged with that. So is he just playing that? Let me see something real quick. Sugar is just Don Quixote Pirates. So that would be interesting. Okay, no, he's just arranging his cards. Let's see what he does here. Like I said, I would play the Doffy here, but okay. He has another plan to swing for 8. And I think I'm going to pause. I'm sorry, guys. We got to talk for a second. If I'm Rebecca here, I'm probably going to take this one. I don't know. I really would not want to take this one because he can easily counter out. He has 2 2k counters in hand and a 1k and 2 1ks in hand. He can easily counter out if he wants to with both Bartolomeos, but he's at 3 life. So it really comes down to if he thinks he can end next turn or not. And we know that he can't play the 10-cost Doffy. He has 7 Dawn untapped, so he's probably just going to play... Oh, he swung at... Oh, no, he blocked with Sabo, excuse me. So now he's just going to play the 7-cost Luffy. Okay, has no follow-up play because he has no film cards he can play from hand. And here we go. Okay. So untaps, gets his an Ideo from the top, use Leader's effects, he has 6 or less cards, gets Druno Bastardo, and now he can KO this Luffy very easily. I'm assuming that's what he's going to do. So uses Kairos. So uses Orlumbus, again, to KO the Kairos. Taps Cordy Coliseum to keep it from being KO'd. Trashes 2 cards from the top because of Orlumbus' effect. And now this 7-cost Luffy is a 3-cost. And now he's gone because he got KO'd by Truno Bastardo, which is probably hitting a 6 or less at this point in the game. Swing 5. Okay, he does get Paradise Waterfall. Right, I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Let me see, Paradise. Yep, Paradise Waterfall, which KOs a 4 or less rested character off the trigger. So that wasn't bad, but that card already did its damage. Okay, so swinging in again. Okay, swinging in for 6K this time. Takes the life. Oh man, not looking good. Not looking good. Swinging in for 9. Good game. Wow. Okay, so Rebecca wins. I really think, first of all, that was a great game. I don't have like anything bad to say. I do have a little bit of criticism to give. I think this was, how do I say this? I understand why he played the 7-cost blocker. He knew he was about to die, right? That's the idea. Is like, okay, I'm going down this turn. However, I still think the best chance for the Doffy player was to establish the 10-cost body. I personally would have tried to establish it a little sooner. However, it probably would have still got dealt with because this Rebecca player has a ton of removal. We saw, I mean, just whether it be Kairos, whether it be Leo, whether it be Truno Bastardo, or whether it be 3000 Worlds, we're looking at removal on removal on removal, and then Cordy Coliseum's down, so the 7-cost Luffy is just beating away, just absolutely, going ham into his opponent's life, or excuse me, active characters. So I think, let me hit play real quick. I think this is the turn I would have tried to establish, what's his name? 10-cost Doffy. And I would have still swung for 5 with leader, and if he tapped down the Sabo, I would have tapped Kairos, Sabo, and one of the Orlumbus. I would have kept all 3 of those tapped, so he'd have only had 3 potential attacks, where I only have to counter out of 1 of them, and I should be able to do that because I have Spiderweb in hand. That's just the way that I would have dealt with it. And then if he doesn't deal with it that turn, then you could have done things from there. Again, this player, hey, he's the one in the finals and I'm not, right? Or whatever, whatever tournament this is. I don't know, what exactly the placement is, but he's in this place and I'm not. So he did the best he could with the knowledge he had. But again, I understand that I get to see the other player's hand, but you guys see what I'm saying, right? If he swings 5 with Doffy, then he might block with Sabo. And even if he doesn't, say he just counters out with an Idio, that's fine. I'm still tapping down 3 characters, and you're only swinging with 2, which would be the Sabo and the Luffy. I only need to counter out of 1, and I have 2 Spiderwebs in hand. So I 100% should be able to, right? Theoretically, I should be able to counter out of at least 1 of them. So, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Well, anyway, tell me what you guys think. I miss doing these commentating videos. I love doing them. Don't think that I'm neglecting doing them. Things have been a few things I got to say. Things have been super busy, right? With the pre-release in the West here for OP-04, getting prepared for all that. Just with my real life responsibilities, and then on top of that, in the East, they have not been. Let me show you guys. They have not been releasing any new videos. So the stuff that I'm using, the newest stuff they have is from 4 weeks ago. Y'all see that? And the video I did today, I think, was like from over here somewhere from 3 months ago. So I do apologize for what seems like late content, but at the same time, I want to get videos out like this because like I said, I do love commentating, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. People saying, yeah, let's keep these going, keep these going. So, all right, guys, appreciate y'all hanging out and hanging around this long if you did. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Post comments, if you got any questions or if I missed something. Y'all know how I am, guys. If I miss anything, I'll be the first one to tell you when I'm wrong. Like, I mess up. I don't see everything that happens. I'm just a human. But all right, guys, until next time, peace.